Hello there, welcome to day 5 of Neo-Pagan November. Today, Neo-Pagan November was created by Brittany, the Sunshine State Witch. Today's prompt is water, and I wanted to talk about water from my own experience, but I have this book called Azez Medicine by Faye Thompson. Healing the mind, body, and spirit with the help of the beings of light. And the Azez are beings of light. And I wanted to read a few pages about the energy of water for this day of Neo-Pagan November. Chapter 3, How I Came to Know Who I Am. The two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain. In January of 2012, my family vacationed on the big island of Hawaii. One of the highlights of the trip was visiting Volcanoes National Park and hiking the Kalua'ike crater. The crater is enormous, measuring approximately 40 stories down and 2 miles across. When we reached the middle of the crater, I found a spot to sit on my own while my family explored. I then performed a little ceremony by burning incense and leaving tobacco as an offering. I was asking the energy of this place, which felt like the seat of creation, to allow me to remember the healing wisdom of ancient Lemuria. In spiritual circles, Hawaii is believed to be the resting place of Lemuria, an advanced ancient civilization much like Atlantis. Many say Lemuria is mythical, just as many say Atlantis is mythical. For someone like me who has experienced many past life memories, Lemuria is as real to me as North America is. In any case, I had become very interested in utilizing Lemurian wisdom to increase my ability to serve others in a magical way in this life. During my meditation in the crater, I didn't receive any immediate big aha moments, nor did I receive any knowledge of ancient healing secrets, but felt that I had received a download of energy that would enter my consciousness when the time was right. I packed up my things and gave thanks for the information that was forthcoming. I had a strange impulse to give an offering of thanks by pouring water onto the ground. As I watched the water disperse into the cracks of the black lava rock, I was thinking, I should be saving this water for drinking. I'm going to need it later. But I couldn't help myself. I poured almost my whole bottle of water onto the ground, leaving only a few swallows for myself. I capped my bottle, caught up with the rest of my family, and enjoyed the rest of the hike. It wasn't until I returned home that the download of information I received in the crater began to present itself to me. One night, while I lay in bed in meditation, I was taken back to the spot in the crater where I asked to remember the wisdom of Lemuria. A new set of beings introduced themselves to me and identified themselves as the beings of the earth. They sprung from the crater's floor like boulders. They were enormous and looked very much like the face statues on Easter Island. Their energy was very warm and loving. I felt embraced by their presence. They were incredibly grateful to me. I was confused as to why they would be grateful to me. When I asked, they said, "You brought us the water." I remembered pouring the water from my bottle onto the ground. "Oh," I replied, "no problem." They told me I did not understand what they were saying. They asked me if I knew why I had poured water onto the ground that day. All I knew was that I had to. It was as if I could not leave without pouring the water onto the ground. They replied, "You asked to remember. That was part of your remembering. When we said thank you for bringing us the water, we were not talking about that day. Although we were very grateful for it. We were talking about when you brought the water to Earth long, long ago before the humans had come." And I'm skipping ahead to chapter 4, The Healing Waters. Water is soft, yet it has the power to move mountains. Lao Tzu. I had washed away my fears of finding out the truth of who I was and had come to accept that my soul had indeed come from Azez. What I hadn't been able to piece together was the relevance of bringing the water to the earth. I had many questions about this. If I did bring the water to the earth, why did I have such a fiery nature? Why was I born under the sign of Leo? Why was my power animal a dragon, an animal that breathes fire? It didn't seem logical to have such a connection to fire when my soul came from a wisdom that was so closely connected to water. I called on the beings of light and asked, "Are you sure I didn't bring fire to the earth instead?" They laughed. "You brought water. We brought water. Your soul comes from Azez, a star whose energy is fed by the central golden sun. The central golden sun is not the sun that lights the earth and your solar system. It is the sun that lights the cosmos. It is the sun that gave life to your sun and all suns in all the universes in all the cosmos. In essence, Azez is a fragment of the central golden sun. In this way, we are very fiery in nature too. We carry the wisdom of water, but do not live in the water as a fish or a mermaid does. You must remember that water did not come to earth in a three-dimensional way. We did not drive trucks carrying tanks filled with water from Azez and dump the water onto the earth. We did not create an elaborate aqueduct system or pipeline and flow the water from our star to your planet. This is how it worked. Instead, we brought the wisdom of the water to the earth. We brought a wisdom, and from that wisdom the water sprang forth. It manifested itself in physical form on the earthly plane. Water carries the wisdom of light of consciousness. It knew how to manifest itself on earth in the perfect way to provide life for this planet. Because the wisdom of water was carried to earth from Azez, you could say that water is extraterrestrial. Your scientists have long known the properties of water are unlike any other substance on earth. When it freezes, water expands. All other substances on earth contract when frozen. When ice forms, it floats. Most substances become heavier as they become denser. Water becomes lighter. Water is limitless in its being. Like source energy, it is infinite. You cannot destroy water. You cannot burn it and turn it to ash. Unlike other substances that combust when heated, water simply changes form and evaporates, but it remains a water molecule. Water is infinite, limitless, and travels from the earth to the atmosphere and back, replenishing and neutralizing itself in the process. It cannot be destroyed or changed into something else. It is and always shall be water. Like your infinite self, water is eternal. When a human dies, the water in the physical body slowly evaporates. Although it aids in the decay process, water does not decay and turn into earth, as flesh and bone does. This is because water is not of the earth. It is eternal as you are. As you know, without water, there would be no life on the planet. It is essentially the lifeblood of Gaia, Mother Earth herself. The wisdom that you brought to earth is that of salt water, the water of your oceans, and the water that courses through your veins. Blood is saline, and it is no accident that it is. It is the natural earth process of evaporation that created the earth's fresh water. The salt water that created the oceans evaporated and then rained down upon the earth as fresh water. You are wondering how that is possible given the large amount of fresh water all over the world. What you must understand is that when you first arrived on Earth, she was dense, hot, and windy. Evaporation occurred quickly, and winds swept the rain clouds in various areas that eventually made the now existing lakes, rivers, and glaciers. Also understand that when you first arrived on Earth, you were not human. You were etheric and therefore able to exist in the conditions of Earth at the time. This was a lot of new information to absorb. There was still more to know. The beings of light continued. It is of great benefit for you to understand the crystalline properties of water. Water is a crystal and works very much in the same way that clear quartz works. You can best observe the crystalline structure of water when it is at freezing point, for that is when ice crystals form. Water exists in your world primarily as a liquid crystal, but just like clear quartz, it has a very stable structure and is highly programmable. It is this highly programmable property that we would like to address and make you aware. I love crystals. Anyone who has spent any time learning about crystals knows the power and purity of clear quartz. The beings of light told me very empathetically to view water just as I would clear quartz. From When we become dehydrated, we lose energy and deplete our immune function. When hydrated, we are energized and better able to concentrate and remember. When hydrated, we will naturally have a healthy glow about us, increased auric field. Water obviously cleanses and creates flow. Water certainly contains every possible color. You can't make a rainbow without the rain. And water definitely absorbs, stores, releases, and regulates energy. Anyone who has used a hot water bottle can attest to that. What the beings of light wanted to bring to my attention is the ability of water to store information like a natural computer. Water, like clear quartz, is highly programmable. This is why clear quartz is a master healing stone that can be used for any condition. It can be programmed to do anything. The beings of light want us to begin viewing water as we have been viewing clear quartz, like a master healing crystal. Beings of light continue to explain water is a natural healer when drank in pure or lovingly drank in a pure or lovingly programmed state. The problem with much of the world's water today is that it has undergone intense negative programming. It has been programmed with people's fears. We offer you the choice to intend for the water to revert to its natural, original programming. Ask the water to remember that it is perfection, light, and love. In this way, you will immediately release the programming currently affecting the water and allow it to transform itself back to its original life-giving perfection. I began doing this as soon as the beings of light asked me. It was amazing how much better I felt in a matter of hours. Now, whenever I have a glass of water, I say to myself, I am going to drink a glass of liquid love. That's my new term for water, liquid love. Whenever I use water, I intend for it to revert back to its original programming of love. I now bathe in liquid love. I wash my dishes in liquid love. I cook spaghetti in liquid love. As I continue to do this, I am amazed how much water is present in our daily lives. We use water to wash hands, floors, and clothes. We use water to plant, grow, and prepare food. We use water to flush toilets and water lawns. It's everywhere. I now have a new appreciation for water that I had been taking for granted. I began to tell the lakes, rivers, and oceans to revert back to their original programming of love. If many of us do this collectively, we can heal the water. It's amazing how quickly it can be done, and it doesn't require protests or rallies or other forms of conflict to achieve. The only thing we must do is do it every day. The only thing is we must do it every day, even more than once a day. The beings of light explained why. When you ask the water to revert to its original programming of perfection, it is done instantly. However, there is still a constant barrage of negative thought and action occurring in the world that still affects the water. Like a crystal in a negative space, it must be cleared often. Eventually, if the water can stay in its original programming long enough and for enough times, it will create a pattern of holding loving programming. If you feel compelled, you can help the water daily in this simple way. The water will be grateful to you, and in return, you will feel the programming of your own water inside your body changing. You will feel yourself reverting back to your original programming of love and perfection. This is a simple exercise the beings of light invite us to do every morning or evening. Take a deep breath and bring your awareness to the water inside your body. Notice that there is water inside your veins, in your organs, in your muscles and flesh. There is water in your skin, in your bones, and in your cartilage. Water is everywhere within you. Thank the water for being present and ask it to revert to its original programming of perfection. Notice any sensations you feel as this occurs. After a short while, you may wish to become aware of the water that runs within your home and property, city or town, and surrounding areas. Ask the water in these areas revert to its original programming. Enjoy what it is that you notice from this request. Do not try to help the water or control the process. Just allow the water to be what it wishes to be. You can't get it wrong. The water knows what to do. Enjoy the process. It is very easy. After that, allow yourself to become aware of all the water upon the earth, in all the bodies of the humans and plants and animals. Become aware of the water in all the streams, rivers, lakes, and oceans. Become aware of all the water that is hidden beneath the surface of the earth and ask it to revert to its original programming. Ask for its original wisdom to be restored and anchored. Remind the water that it is indeed liquid love. So I wanted to say that in my own words, but I feel like it came out better just reading the book. I didn't read everything in the book, but I just read snippets from different parts of chapter 3 and chapter 4. So it's called Azez Medicine by Faye Thompson if you're interested in reading more about that. But yeah, so this was Neo-Pagan November, day 5, started by Brittany, the Sunshine State Witch. I hope that you can implement this practice into your daily life when you're taking a shower. I know I do it when I take a shower. I say, I ask that this water be transformed back to its original state of liquid love and light and life, and all the water in my body be transformed back to its original state of liquid love and light and life. And I am more aware now when I'm drinking water, I'm more aware when I'm using water that it is a blessing and a gift, because a lot of people in other countries don't have clean water, don't have running water. So it's really good to be appreciative of the water in our lives. Sorry this video is a little longer, but I hope you stuck through, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.